Well, thank you for having me today. This is so wonderful.
It's a complete pleasure.
This is the most beautiful house I've ever been in. It's gorgeous. I love the way you've layered. And so I want to just introduce you and say, this is Victoria Stainow and Stainow.
No, you did it perfectly. Perfectly. It's perfect.
I love the history behind it. And then also thank you for having me with the tea and your tea set. This
Oh, yes, my tea set.
It's such a great reflection of you. Tell me a little bit about it.
It is a bit quirky. I bought it many, many years ago in Massachusetts at an art fair, and it was made by a local ceramicist. And I am always drawn to things that are made of ceramic. As you can see from the things in my collection, there are quite a lot of ceramics. Yes. It was made by a local artist, and I love the color and the rather unusual organic shapes.
I love it.
And I told you, I almost gave it to my daughter.
No, you need to not give this away. No. It's pretty spectacular.
I hardly ever get to use it, but it's really nice. It's really nice to use it.
And we're having Old Grey. I love it. And you put a little biscuits.
And I put some biscuits out. I just discovered those, and they're very good. So
it's delicious. I'm planning on having several. So thank you. Good. Well, you are such an amazing collector of furniture, bespoke furniture, fine art, beautiful artwork, unusual pieces of lighting, and you do it so well. And for me as an interior designer, you are quite a special niche that helps us tremendously. And so what was the first moment that you realized, oh my gosh, I'm really good at this? Or what was there a furniture piece that spoke to you?
I never realized I was good at it, and I still don't. I think I'm like a lot of people. There's always the self-doubt hiding behind everything. But actually, the piece that I started with was this table that's in front of us. And I found the original, which is probably from the 1960s. And I think whoever made it was very influenced by Willie Rizzo. Mm-hmm. And Willie Rizzo used to do these coffee tables where there was a section, a recess in the middle where you could put champagne bottles and ice and things like that. This doesn't have that, but I was taken by the design. It is 80 centimeters by 120, which is pretty close to the magic
number.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's forever bespokeable. You can make it higher, you can make it lower, you can make it wider, longer. We've put different surfaces here. I've done it with antique mirror, with leather, and a client recently, a very talented client, has done special glass on the bottom and the top.
It is beautiful. And I love that you put these special pieces underneath that I'm sure all have a story. Yeah. I mean, that I can see it. It's just everything has an interesting story in here, and I'm fascinated. So, yes, I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
So now, I have my little cheat sheet here that helps me kind of stay at point because I can get caught up in my conversation with you. So how did you have your French connection and your craftsmanship merge together?
Okay, so my husband grew up in France. Okay. And his mother, although she was from Boston originally, had always been a Francophile all her life. And so I think she was a big influence on me, and her houses were filled with color and filled with art. And she was an artist herself and dressed in the most extraordinary way.
That's incredible.
And she was a real influence. And so then we bought a house in the south of France. Mm-hmm. And so that's why this table originally fulfilled a purpose, because we needed a coffee table. It's a 17th century house, which is stone vaults and quite severe, actually, and quite old feeling. So I wanted it to have a little edge to it. Right. And so that was the first.
Well, and I noticed that even being in here, and this is what I love about what you do, and I try to do the same thing with my clients, is I love that there's pieces of history in here, but also there's a little bit of a modern edge, clean lines. That combination to me itself is a work of art of how well you put it together.
You're saying it so well. I never would think of a way to, but that's really great. And it speaks to me too. I really love the fact that sometimes people use things that don't have necessarily any value, and they just stick it in there because it has sentimental value.
Exactly. It means something to them, and then I can see it. I can see the specialness in this room, and that there's lots of love and care in here. So I actually feel it a lot. I know my dress splits open a little bit. Sorry. Okay, you don't have to give me the secret sauce or any of your secret recipes, no. But how did you find such incredible craftsmanship and artists, and how do you find that?
I've been really lucky, I think. I've been really, really lucky. First of all, it started with this table, and we were doing some renovation at our house in France, and I had a really good cabinet maker who was doing something for me. And I showed him the table, and I said, do you think you can do this, or do you know something? He actually could work with the brass. Wow. He could supply the glass, and he was also a carpenter, so he could make the base. Right. So that's where it all started.
You know, so much in my own business, it's all relationships and how we treat people. Absolutely. And I feel that way about you. Having met you, I'm like, we're going to be friends for a really long time.
I think so.
And I'm so excited to work with you and bring these unusual, unique pieces to the United States. You can see they're true craftsmen, and but that's a testament to you, and that you got to know them well, and that they love you. And
it is. It is a relationship, and it is actually the thing I care the most about.
Right.
Because and that's also one of the reasons I only do things that are made I only make things really in Europe, because I want the craftsmanship to continue. It's just my little way of helping out.
Right. Oh, well, you help out with giving gifts of joy to people. Well, so that's really what you're doing.
I hope so. Absolutely. I mean, it is very niche. It's not for everyone, that's for sure.
Yes. So one of the challenges that we go through, that I'm wondering how you might deal with it, is we have clients that hire us based on what they see and what we do, and then they come to us with a certain look, and sometimes the things that we choose doesn't necessarily reflect what they want, but I'm trying to gravitate them towards, just knowing the specialness and the uniqueness of these piees. How do you convey that?
Oh, that's really hard. I think it's really hard.
Isn't it?
I think it's really hard, and I'm not in the same position you are in, because I'm only really dealing with the interior designers who come to me and order something.
Right.
And they have the vision, and they already have the client who's educated or knows the difference between something like this and something that's made.
You're right. My job is to educate them, to tell them how special this piece is and the history behind it. And so that's why we're going to work so well together. So
we can join forces. I mean, and actually that's my job too in my business, is I have to develop more of a narrative so that people understand what it goes into making these things, and how much time is spent by these fantastic artists making these things that are so special, that we enjoy so much.
That's so well said, because they want, we can make them custom to the size. Yeah. And also, there's not 100,000 mass-produced that you're going to see in everyone's living room. No. And so that's partly why they do hire us as interior designers. So someone like you really helps us tremendously, because we're so concerned with the rug, the drapery, the fabrics, and there goes so much into our job that I have come to find, when I have a really good team of a drapery maker, an upholsterer, and the marble installer, fabricator, and someone like you, that's when the whole job comes together really well.
And we're sort of the last step for you, really. We're the icing on the cake, I suppose.
I think you're the most important step in it. I always tell my clients, leave an allowance or 1/3 of the budget for your art, for your accessories. They are what's going to tie everything in the room. Otherwise, it's just like a hotel room.
Yeah.
And so, and they're the ones that when we do it right, the husband either cries on us of tears of joy.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, and is so happy. And the wife is like, that little blue jewel box at the coffee table is what set this whole thing together. Or the art piece, the unusual art piece. I mean, your art pieces are just stunning in how you've put them all together. In saying that, how could I make your life easier when you do meet an interior designer? Of how do we give you specifics to tell you what to look for and what we're looking for?
Well, although I do a lot of bespoke things, some of the things are kind of as they are.
Right.
So that sort of makes it a bit easier because
You've already done all your research and found the unusual pieces.
it's true that I've done a lot of the hard work, which is a complete joy, but you know, it is what it is, with some exceptions. I have done a lot of fiddling around with dimensions of a variety of the pieces that I do, and that's fun too.
Right.
And it's fun to work with designers on that, and also the guy who's making it will have his input. He'll say, "Oh no, that's not going to work." Yeah.
We come across that too.
Yeah, and they're always right.
I always say it takes a team. And if you have a great team, that's what makes it work. I know we've created huge coffee tables before, and the manufacturer will come and he'll be like, no, you can't get between the sofa and the coffee table. And I'm like, oh, okay, you're right. Even though we've measured it twice. And I always say another pair of eyes, is always great.
It's always good.
Oh no, you're wonderful. I'm just like, what are you doing tomorrow? I want to be with you.
I'll meet you anywhere.
I know. I'm gonna say, forget the rest of the week. We'll just reschedule everything and we'll just hang out. What is a material or a finish that you feel like is a staple in a room that keeps always drawing you? Is there one particularly that you love?
Do you mean of the furniture finishes?
Furniture or the lighting? Is there always something that you're like?
Well, it's really hard to choose because I was going to say there are only two things, and then I thought, no, there's a third thing. I love bronze. I mean, like those lamps there. And I love brass because it reflects the light.
Right.
And then
so well said.
I like ceramics too.
No, but that's what makes it so special. So I knew it was going to be multifaceted, but that's so well said that, you know, the bronze I feel brings warmth.
Yeah.
And it's so sculptural.
Well, this is it. I mean, they're lights, but they're a piece of art as well.
Beautiful. And the art brings in the color. So the way you bring in art is beautiful. So that's how I feel. It's very hard for me to come up with one style myself.
Yeah, but we both agree that mixing the periods is the way forward. And
absolutely. Just even the details sitting right here. I love the texture of this mohair, the animal print, that you have a fine trim, that's the fretwork.
That was down to Tara, who had the eye for the detail to do that.
I love that.
Because I don't have that. I don't have the patience, you know, but it's such a wonderful detail.
That's what I love to do. So,
do you?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and that you put an orange pillow here.
Yeah. That was my thing, because I just like a splash of something that
it's beautiful.
Doesn't have anything to do with the rest.
So, I know is there something that I haven't asked you that you would love to say?
Well, actually, one of the questions that I saw that I really thought about, that you said, what would you advise somebody to do if they were starting to collect? And I thought about it really hard because I had some advice about this wall when we first moved into this flat 20 years ago. I had a lot of, quite small to medium-sized pictures in a big, big wall. Right. And the man that helped with the interior architecture of the flat, he was called André de Cacqueret.
Love his name.
Absolute genius. And I said, what am I going to do with it? He said, just put them all up. Wow. And I said, should I just put the good things up or what? He said, no, just put everything up and make a gallery wall. And then I had a really good hanger because you need somebody to hang them. And actually, they're a bit crooked at the moment because we had to rehang them. We have to rehang them. But I think that was the best advice I've ever received.
Right. And I mean, to me, they're all beautiful. So they speak to you.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting right here, and it's almost like you bought them just for that wall. And they all speak so well to one another.
Of course, they have nothing to do with each other at all. Really.
So did you find them on your travels?
Some of them, I worked at Sotheby's for 16 years. And so that's sort of where, apart from my darling mother-in-law, who really influenced me a lot, at Sotheby's I developed an eye because before that I was a banker and I had nothing to do with...
You were multi-talented.
No, but I've had a lot of different careers, I guess. So I got my eye in lots of different departments. I got to see a lot of things. And sometimes I bought some things at sales. Those were the good old days when things were all over a certain threshold, because now everything that goes through the auction houses is very, very expensive.
Well, just walking around the streets of London for me and the antique stores, I'm just amazed by what's in there. So coming from the United States where everything is so new.
It's always been like that, hasn't it?
Yeah. So I feel so blessed to have the combination of having the London office and then having the Dallas office. And my hopes are to combine and educate my clients that this is truly the mixture. We inherit pieces, we gather pieces on our travels or in our lives, all the different stages of life that we've had, and you've just done it so well. I see why you're so talented and you have it in you. You were born with it.
Yes. I don't know. I don't know.
Thank you for having me here today.
It's been wonderful.
It has been such a pleasure.
Really great. Thank you.
Thank you. And then what are we going to do tomorrow?
Let's go shopping. Let's go.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Carla.